Okay. Zelda, you wanna sit in my lap? Come here. Come here, Zelda. Come here. Oh, wow, that was fast. There was no, queue. What the fuck? I guess everybody's, like, bailing, because... Update. Good girl. If I don't put her in my lap now, she'll want to go in my lap in a minute. You know the drill. Oh, that's right. I finished up some Aether Currents, so now I can fly here. Oh, hold on. I can fly in this area. Whee! Yeet! Why don't we go ahead, actually, and... Did I get this whole map? No, I did not get the whole map, so let's go ahead and get a little bit of that going. I'll, like, kind of up my whole dig here. Oh, this is a nice little secluded thing. The fuck? What the hell is here? Our Lady's feet. What? Uh-oh. Don't talk about feet. Or else, I don't know, Feetbot's not in. Amazing. What is here? Nothing is here? Nothing is here. What the fuck? Okay. One more area to discover, and then we've discovered the entire map. Oh wait, there's another one. Also uninhabited. What is this called? Hold on. Our Lady's hands. Oh, I see. And then her rack. Oh, sorry, the rack. Excuse me. Alright, yeah, we discovered everything here in Amarang. So yes, that we're all done. All the Aether Currents for these two, and then we got a few more. I think at some point, I'll probably try and see the whereabouts. Maybe we'll do another one of these. You know, I'm almost inclined to do another one of these today because I'm only going to be here for an hour, but... Nah, we should get into the, we should finally start, oh, that's right, we gotta go back to Revenant's Toll, huh? Yeah, right, hold on. Yeah, let's just go ahead and go back to Revenant's Toll. Go ahead and talk to Tataru. Now that we're ready to go for 5.2. It's fine, it'll be a nice short intro to 5.2. You know how it goes. Alright, I won't eat any more of these nuts, so I can pull the microphone a little bit closer. Crunch, 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 crunch. I don't know, I just like chewing on things while I play video games. It's like a bad habit at this point. Laura. May, what a pleasant surprise. What a pleasant surprise. If you come to inquire after the Archons, fear not. Master Matoya's treatment has proven effective in stabilizing their corporeal aether. We mustn't grow complacent. However, potent though these magics may be, they are not without limits. We can only hope they afford enough time for the Crystal Exarch to complete his work. If only we could go with you to the first and help. Pardon the intrusion, but I've come bearing urgent news. Yo, Maxima, what the fuck? Laura, it's been far too long, my friend. Bam. Forgive me, I do not believe I have been formally introduced. Maxima, former Garlean ambassador. I remain here in Aurasia under the auspices of Commander Aldine, offering what counsel I can in hopes of resolving the present conflict with the Empire. Oh, shit. Oh yes, I've heard the stories of a defector from Garlemald. But never mind that. You said you have urgent news? Indeed. You may have heard the Imperial capital is in turmoil, and a sizable portion of Garlean forces have been recalled from the Gimlet Dark. With their numbers so greatly diminished, the main host of the Alliance has withdrawn, leaving the Alamegan resistance to keep watch over their border. And it is there we have welcomed a most unexpected visitor who claims that this de-escalation may bell growing dangers for unseen threats. Whomst? Commander Aldine is quite, has arranged for an impromptu meeting to discuss these revelations. He has also requested a representative of the Scions attend as well, though it was clear to whom he wished I extended this invitation. Would seem time is of the essence. Well, you have not be attending this meeting alone. You'll not be attending this meeting alone, though I am not as well versed in the affairs of city-state as our comrades. I see no reason to burn a single scion with all this. Thank you. Yes, of course. We must make for the Alamegan quarter with all haste. Well, what are you waiting for? Get going, you two. I got this. Alright. God, can I not fly here? That's right, I can't fly in this fucking place. The locks. Wait, I can fly in the locks. I just haven't finished the locks. I should figure out where in the locks I need to finish, or if, hold on, Masonry Quest. 5.2. Okay, yes. We are going back to the first. Are indeed going back to the first. This camel can't fly in this fucking city. It's a fucking maze in here. So maybe I might be able to get. There we go. Figured it out. All right, now I remember. Now it's muscle memory at this point. Done it enough times. Commander Aldine awaits the royal palace. If you follow Mwah. We can check up on Raban. Ho ho. Glad to see you fucking alive, you dipshit. Oh, and your comrades. How do you fare?
They're here, Commander.
And I, for one, am grateful that they are. Told you've been busy since our paths last crossed at the Gimlet Dark. Not that I understand half of it. When the Scions spoke of other worlds, I'd struggled to describe what I pictured. Mayhap things would seem clearer were I to hear the tale from your own lips. But I'm afraid the situation will not afford us that luxury. I trust you two require no introduction.
We meet again, hero of Eorzea.
I'm sorry.
Must you repeat this ridiculous display? I pose no threat to you, though what I come to warn you of very well might.
Yeah, for fuck's sake, I definitely witnessed the echo, so... Well, it was more Estinian's echo than, Gaius's echo. No, I think it's really funny. I think I might want to... Man, sometimes I really do want to watch these cutscenes, but as, like, as Meteor. Now I remembered his name. Just to see, like, me doing it as a Lalafell is hilarious because I'm small and, but, you know, anything else is just like, alright. In fact, he's looking downwards.
Had he meant to do us harm, I hazard he would have kept to the shadows. and brought more than 2 companions. We need not pretend to be the best of friends, but I hope we can put aside our differences for the present.
Hey, if Raban can trust you, I can.
As you are doubtless aware, Sir Estinian and I cooperated to rid the world of Black Rose in your absence.
Yes.
Our journey together took us as far as the Imperial Palace, where we witnessed Emperor Varus meet his death at Xenos' hand.
Please let me have an echo so I can go and watch Gaius' thing and then fight as Gaius.
Being the sole witnesses to this crime, and in no position to defend our innocence, we were then forced to flee, each pursuing his own avenue of escape. When we were later reunited, Estinian claimed to have encountered an unfamiliar kind of machina during his flight. But to me, his description seemed anything but, and upon further investigation, I found that I was right. The Empire is developing a new Ultima weapon.
Dun dun dun!
What, that Allagan monstrosity, created to vanquish primals, with which you yourself once thought to conquer Eorzea?
Yep, I got super duper tricked. Big
same.
bamboozled.
In my foolishness, I sought to harness its power, and became the Ascian's pawn in so doing. But you know as well as I how that tale ended. The weapon itself, excavated from beneath this very city, was destroyed ere we could fully unravel its secrets, and that should have been the end of it. But unlikely as it sounds, the Empire's efforts to recreate it have somehow borne fruit, primarily through secret research conducted by the 7th Imperial Legion, it would seem.
Wait, the 7th was all but annihilated at Cartano, along with its legatus.
We thought so too.
Indeed. Few survived. The 7th, as it is now, has little in common with the Legion led by Vandanis, and its leadership has changed hands several times since.
Wait. The 7th? Cartano? The moon crashing down as a, like, fucking meteor? Hang on, this is an entire allegory to Final Fantasy VII.
Precisely how this project has continued despite such turmoil, and under whose auspices, remains a mystery.
Don't mind me, I'm just reaching. Reaching real hard.
What we do know, however, is that a number of prototypes have been produced, and that one of them is on its way to Eorzea.
Ruh-roh.
We attempted to stop it, but it was all we could do to slow its progress. So we resolved instead to bring you warning.
And right glad are we that you did. Though it soundly dashed our hopes that tensions might ease at last.
Goddamn, dude, you're fucking tall as fuck. Even for a Garlean.
As it is, we've begun to strengthen our presence in the Gimlet Dark, and are assembling a force to meet the coming threat. A force with you in its vanguard, I hope. Before you say anything, I know full well you have pressing concerns of your own. Your comrades remain in peril, and I would not ask you to forsake them.
Man, now that Raban is, like, talking, and I'm, like, really paying attention, he just kind of sounds like a deeper voiced Jon Snow. Am I wrong?
But the fact remains that you, and you alone, have faced the Ultima weapon and emerged victorious. We need you.
Maybe it's because I watched all of, I really did man, fuck Game of Thrones, but also, I don't know, no, I watched, okay, no, to be truthful, like, I definitely, I watched a streamer, and one of the, like, jokes for a while was like, I never wanted it. Never have. You know, the meme. Like, he had that cadence and that, like, you put a lot into the effort and all the O's.
And so, when the time comes, if your comrades can spare you, I bid you lend us your strength. I've assigned an officer to await your word.
It has that, like, that weirdly a little bit of an English cadence to it. Raban, you shouldn't have an English cadence to your speech, dude. Or maybe you should, I don't know. Maybe now he's back in Alamigo, he's getting his old accent back.
The Ascian's downfall was to be the work of my remaining days. But it was my hand that kindled these flames, and I cannot allow them to spread any further. I will do what I must to see this mistake consigned to history once and for all. Even if it means begging your aid. The fates will enjoy the irony, even as I endure the ignominy.
I want to
too shall
know.
make for the border and offer my skills, meager though they seem in such company. Mayhap we shall meet there anon.
I want to know how he ended up with a pair of comrades with him after all of that. I want to see that story. Give me that fucking anime. Although it's probably not very exciting.
Though we can ill afford to ignore the coming of a new Ultima weapon, our friend's plight grows ever more precarious, and none save you can join them in the first. I only hope you are not forced to make a choice.
Probably not. As ever, the way forward is paved with difficult decisions. We can ill afford to ignore the threat of a new Ultima weapon, but with each passing day, the plight of the Scions grows ever more perilous. If you cannot stay for a debriefing on the Ultima weapon, I will not stop you. I can only ask you confer with me before returning to the first. Oh. I'll take it you're ready to return to the first. Then I would ask that you reprise the others of recent events here in the source, namely Xenos' return and the development of the new Ultima weapon. Sorry, this wind-up Gilgamesh on the side is having a fucking fit. As for the bodies, you may rest assured them, Master Matoya and I will continue doing what we can to keep their corporeal aether stable. Safe travels, Zalora. I hope to see you and the other Scions soon. Boing. Sorry, the little wave. Very cute. Back to the Crystal Exarch. You had tamed a bunch of Gil. You just lost a bunch of Gil traveling. It evens itself out. Hold on, we can go. Do 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 do. Yeah, having watched all of Game of Thrones all the way to the end, don't waste your time. Like, it's interesting, it was very entertaining. And so if you want to just be entertained, it's fine. It's a perfectly wonderful, entertaining show. But you just have to be prepared for a bunch of problems of ooh. This is a good example of the anime caught up to the manga. And, you know, the studio didn't want to budget for more of that. I don't know, maybe in our lifetime we'll get, like... Honestly, I think a lot of people would be very okay if those guys came back after everything was finished and said, okay. Well, that was the other problem too. Is like it was such a fucking compelling thing because it hadn't been written yet, and we're like, what happens next? There is no book to continue what happens next. So You know, I mean, everybody knew what would happen with the Harry Potter movies, and so when the movies came, or what happened in the Harry Potter books, so when the movies came out, nobody gave a fuck because we already know the story. Whereas, like, Game of Thrones was like, ah, yes, this is so compelling. We don't know what's gonna happen. Tell us the story. To give a good example. Like, you know. Anyway. You've come at a most opportune time, my friend. I've made something of a breakthrough in my research on the soul and the means to return the Scions home. I trust you too have been making good use of your time. Yeah, by the way, source is fucked. Oh, ill tidings for the source, you say? And all some of the others that we might all be apprised of the situation. So anyway, I turned into a pickle. He turns into a pickle. It's the funniest shit I have ever seen. Oh, hey, here. I totally messed that whole thing up.
Now that we are all here, what news from the source?
Right, so the Empire is recreating Ultima. Like, we didn't already have the problem of Black Rose. Well, guess what?
A new Ultima weapon. We must count ourselves lucky that Gaius has pledged his assistance.
While this is indeed a worrying development, I think the state of the Empire as a whole greater grounds for concern. With the Emperor slain and Xenos returned, it is impossible to predict how matters will unfold in Garlemald. The Ultima weapon may be but the first of many unpleasant surprises.
Well... who was orchestrating the Ultima weapon? Likely the Emperor, right? The Emperor and some Ascian, but then, you know, Big dead and then Ascian disappeared, so this shouldn't be a problem right away. I heard from my coworker about that. I had to show him the Gintama explanation. Oh god, right? Honestly, yeah, I wouldn't mind if they, like... if they came back and said, like, hey... J.R.R. Martin finished the books. We're still here. We're still alive. Everybody else is kind of... well, actually, no. Martin would need to, like, finish those books within this fucking, you know, decade. No, within the next 5 years. People age. White people age. So if they do end up redoing the series, they would probably either have to start from scratch or just get new actors and be like, here's the end of Evangelion, or sorry, end of Game of Thrones. Here you go. Yeah, I think they borked it. That's a unfortunate thing that I don't think I think a bunch of people were kind of seeing it coming. It was just like, well, let's hope for the best. Because, like, it was one of those situations of, like, well, we already know this is going to be the last season. Bad. And this is only canceled because the network doesn't want to keep funding it. Also bad, because it was, what, making a bunch of money? People wanted subscriptions for that. So maybe this might be a lesson for HBO to not cancel something like this and expect it to be good. Oh, wait. Another... No, that is just HBO. Sorry. Amazon did that with, Man in the High Castle. That was a disappointing ending. Holy fuck, that was... honestly, Man in the High Castle was a more disappointing ending than Game of Thrones. Not even fucking kidding. I'll spoil it. I'll fucking spoil that shit on stream. But I only have less than a half hour to finish this, so let me get through this.
The situation beareth closer observation, of that there is no doubt, and doth compound our need to return unto the source.
Oh, have a good night, Yoda. Thanks for hanging out. Have a good night, and sleep well.
Then let us address that issue. Our long search for a means to see you safely home may well be nearing its conclusion.
Oh, good.
Thanks in large part to Urianger and Becklug's invaluable insight, we have succeeded in fashioning a vessel for the journey.
Shan't.
We set out to create a crystalline container retaining the more useful properties of white aurosite, but without its regrettable limitations. And after a good deal of trial and error, we made one. An ark for soul and mind both that will allow your incorporeal self in its entirety to be ferried between worlds. A spirit vessel, if you will.
However?
Though the vessel is possessed of the requisite qualities to hold mind and memory, it wanteth yet for a means to receive of them. For that, we must needs imbue it with the Exarch's innate gift.
A gift that lives on only through the blood of the Allegan Emperors, which certainly does not flow within aurosite or any other crystal.
Just so, milady. The blood serveth as a conduit of sorts. In its absence, memory cannot pass from mind unto mind, nor from flesh unto crystal.
That being the case, we must either alter the process of inheritance so as to require no such thing, or determine a means by which my blood may permeate the vessel. I am hopeful that the records found within this tower will yield the knowledge we require to pursue one or the other of these avenues.
As well you should be. The Allegan's body of etherological research is extraordinary. I can scarce believe it the work of ages past. But its underlying principles are not so very different from those of my own field of study. Given time, we will find the answers we seek.
I know that you can ill afford to wait, and it pains me that I must ask you to do so. I can only reaffirm my promise to you that a solution will be found. Whatever it takes, I will see you safely home.
Thanks.
My apologies.
I do hope you haven't come to tell us that mortal peril fast approaches.
No. I had hoped to speak with the Warrior of Darkness. But there is no need to cut short your meeting on my account. I will be waiting outside.
Why not speak in here? She knows I don't mind. Unless she didn't want to.
Perhaps I might
private.
accompany you. Though I am woefully ill-qualified to assist in the Exarch's research, I may yet be of some use to Lena.
Walks out. He's good. Nailed it. Alright. We have little time, so I will be brief. A Sin Eater has been sighted in Lakeland, and I ask for your assistance in slaying it. Why? You can slay these Sin Eaters. A Sin Eater? I had heard some few yet remained after the night had returned, but perhaps we should call the others? That will not be necessary. It is only a single Sin Eater. A simple task for our guard, I should think. That said, I believe fighting alongside the Warrior of Darkness would be a valuable experience for them. Peace can lead to complacency, and they gain nothing from an easy victory. But you do not understand your foes, however harmless they may seem. My men would do well to learn from your example. Oh, alright, yeah. Fine. We all know why Alphino can't do this. Excellent then. I mean, she just explained why me and not Alphino. Just explained it. The warrior of darkness. Excellent. Then let us make for Fort Job. I think I finally figured out her accent. It's like all of the Slav without the, like, the heaviness of it. Can I teleport? Yes, I can. I forgot I can teleport to Job. I also could fly to Job. Do 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 do. There we go. If you wait here for a moment, I will gather the others. Do 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 do. Noot noot. You may not remember, but you may have met these soldiers once before, though only in passing. Long have they waited the opportunity to fight at your side. Was it death's door when that day the Seniors attacked? If you and yours hadn't come along, I would have surely stepped through. And I wouldn't have been alone. Your courage and selflessness is something we all aspire to. These aren't the ones I shouldn't be talking to. Yeah, I too was here on that Tebber day. My friend was transformed into a senior before my very eyes. No choice but to cut her down. The thought of returning to the field, the holding into a blade again filled me with dread. But that is no way to honor her, my comrade, so I have returned. I swear I'll not let you down. Okay, he's a good reason to be back. A pleasure to meet you, miss. Truly, it seems like only yesterday I watched as you took flight astride on Amaro to go and save the Oracle. Strange to think that your Morian soldiers we once locked blades with are now on our side. But we will do our utmost to keep the peace here in Lakeland. Yeah, you're also a very good candidate for this. The first guy was like, yeah, he seems like he's pretty fucking up to speed with war. Whereas the other two are just like, one needs to get over his, clearly his PTSD. That's a problem, obviously, to get over. And the other one's like, now you're somewhat fresh. We seem to be missing one. My apologies, Captain Lena. An elderly gentleman asked that I escort him to Clearmelt. It took longer than I anticipated. I do not begrudge your desire to help those in need, but a soldier must be punctual, especially when we play host to an honored guest. It won't happen again. The name's Thyler. Thyler. And I'm sure you don't remember, but we once met before in the infirmary. Yeah, I asked you to deliver a message to the Exarch. Oh, thank you. Don't give up, don't give in. I keep those words close to my heart, and the boundless, beautiful skies above serve as a reminder of their importance. Well, then you also don't need my help, dude. Why are you... My friend got to see the knight's return shortly before he passed. He left his world with a smile, satisfied with a glimpse of what is to come. But there are countless others who weren't so fortunate. Well, I guess, let's encourage... Okay, at this point, I guess Lena's just doing them a nice gesture. They give their lives for the promise of a future they'll never know. And so it falls to us to do everything we can to fulfill that promise. Man, if only our government... Man, I'm not going to get into this rant, but if only our government fucking gave a fuck about the future... Sure dude fucking not about our fucking future. Alright. Sorry, I had to say it at least once. No matter what happens, they won't give up, we won't give in. Never give up, never surrender! Your heroism has inspired all of our guardsmen in as much the same manner. Our scouts at the northern staging point have not had the pleasure of meeting you in person. Let's not keep them waiting. Oh, so they're like the leaders, but we also would like to have, you know, the guards. Alright, it's like the... This doesn't come out as green in camera as it does in real life. That's like way more green. This is way more green than... Like, these are two different colors. I guess just further proof that cameras don't really pick up the same color nonsense. Alright, we can fly there. Ain't it such a good thing that I figured out to get all of the aether currents here. Oh shit, that's a problem. They're already here. Ha ha ha. Well, you didn't need my help.
Did you slay this eater? Your orders were to await the main force before engaging.
Huh.
No, Captain. It wasn't us, I swear it. A man came out of nowhere and cut it down before we knew what was happening.
A man?
By himself. Certainly it is no light warden, but nevertheless.
It's true. Felled it with a single swing of his axe, he did.
An
Never
axe,
seen
you
anything
say?
like it. So I says to him, who are you, the warrior of bleeding darkness?
Maybe.
And he says, no, I'm a warrior of light. And that was it. Buggered off as quick as he came.
Warrior of Light, you say?
A warrior of light?
Why would someone go around calling himself that, though? It was those bastards who caused the flood. I mean,
Ghosts!
If you were going to pretend to be anyone, it'd be her. The warrior of darkness.
Eh? Oh, I didn't know. It's an honor.
God, the guard in the back did the gesture for me. Ooh, there goes my bitrate.
Since the Eater is no longer a threat, our work here is done. Return to your posts.
Good foreshadowing.
I had hoped to fight at your side today. But I'll continue to follow your example, and may we meet again.
I apologize for the wasted journey. It seems I overestimated the threat.
The plot thickens. Teddy thickens too. What?
As for this warrior of light, I do not know who would be brazen enough to take that mantle for his own. Whatever it may once have meant, it is forever tainted by the association with the Flood. The Exarch told me the truth of Ardbert and his comrades' deeds, and I am aware they played some part in your own triumph.
Oh, that's nice.
But to most, they are synonymous with the calamity that befell this world. Still, if this man is minded to destroy Sin Eaters, I may forgive him his unfortunate choice of alias.
Oh, wait, hold on. Sorry. Work-related text. Give me just a second. Okay, there we go. Sorry, it always very important work. Okay.
But that is neither here nor there. I thank you for accompanying me.
With that concluded, shall we return to the Crystarium? There is a proposal I should like to make.
Teddy, oh god, oh yeah, no, I totally forgot about Persona 4 Teddy.
Forgive me. There is one more thing. A personal concern of mine. I had hoped you might have a moment to speak privately.
Take your time. I shall go on ahead.
I will not mince words. This matter concerns the Exarch. Though his countenance belies his age, his demeanor never has. He has seen more than any man should and grown ever more weary with time. But I see I give the wrong impression. While it is true he attempted to open a letter with a salmon fillet the other evening, we are not here because I suspect his mind is deteriorating.
I'm sorry, that is an entire sentence that I just heard and read to make sure that I definitely heard that correctly.
Nor do I believe him to be so maddeningly unconcerned by the prospect of his own death as he once was. Indeed, the opposite is true. It is for this reason that I seek your advice. Since he returned from the Tempest, the Exarch is not as he was. He seems a different man, a younger man. I know not the details of his research, but when I saw him at work recently, there was a glint in his eye that I had never seen before. He looked happy. It was as if he had peered into the future and for the first time found joy there.
Oh.
Though it gladdens me to see him thus, I wonder if I should not keep my distance. I fear that my presence will only anchor him to the past, remind him of all the pain that came before.
It's very thoughtful of you, Lena. Yeah, no. He's lost without you, you know, and he misses you already. Truth.
Are you sure?
Yes!
Then perhaps we might remain as we were. As we have always been. What a relief.
Aww.
In that case, I will have to speak with him about the amount of time he is spending at work. This research is important, I know, but if he refuses to consider his own health, I will have to consider it for him.
Please make sure he sleeps. Well, I don't think he does, but... The fish incident, Carpet Selk. I will not keep you. You and your comrades have much to discuss. I will see the others back to their posts. Thanks, Lena. There we go. Alright. Yeah, we're still about half a minute away. Go back to the Crystarium. Finish up this. The others are quite shocked to hear what we found in Lakeland. But now that you're here, here is a proposal I should like to make. I have been spending a great deal of time in the Cabinet of Curiosity, and of late I've noted more and more people pursuing books on history, yours leading up to the Flood in particular. I suspect they wish to know more about the Warriors of Light, as they should, but nearly everything I've come across describes them as Sin Eaters or worse. Regardless of whether or not this Warrior of Light is who they claim to be, I worry that their sudden appearance in junction with this renewed interest in their predecessors may lead to growing unrest and fear. If the people of the Crystarium seek truth, I say we give it to them. I too can attest to the falsehoods found within many of the Cabinet's tomes, and nary a mention of the noble deeds of Ardbert and his comrades. To be fair, they bear some of the responsibility for the Flood, but when the tale is told again and again on the course of a century, I'm not surprised to see their roles distorted and some of them painted as villains. Were it not for the records stored in the Crystal Tower, I would have had no reason to question the narrative. Unfortunately, that knowledge was of no use, for when I arrived here in the first, the reputation had already been irreparably tarnished. That said, there still remained those who worked tirelessly to defend their good name, and in those early days following the Flood. Considering the good they had done, Considering all the good they had done, I find it a wonder they needed defending at all. They brought to justice the man who misused my knowledge to bring about the fall of Vobert. Such heroes could be spoken of in the same breath as Sin Eaters is absurd. In normal circumstances, I would agree. But as time passed, those who knew firsthand of their deeds dwindled. In the first, only the truth remained, that they were the cause of the Flood. With the world on the brink of oblivion, it was all too easy of the Warriors of Light to become villains, deserving only of resentment and hate. At that point, the truth mattered little. It would not change their lot. Thanks to all you, however, their lot has changed, and now they heed the long-forgotten truth. You claim it was Ardbert who helped you overcome Emmett Selk, correct? Correct. Such a revelation would do well to sway the hearts of those who know him only as a villain. I have shared this with a select few, but one and all must be told of his sacrifice. To that end, I say we proceed with Althanar's plan. We call together the people of the Crystarium and recount to them the true tale of the Warriors of Light and the Flood that followed in their wake. Well, what do you say, Zalora? Yeah, I don't need to talk about what not having done beforehand, but best to be left in the dark in case something bad happens. And we're all of one mind. Good. Exarch, I might ask you to continue work with Belug on our means of returning home. The rest of us will see to gathering the people of Crystarium and the etc. We have to reach out to anyone who might be willing to lend an ear. With any luck, word will spread and more will accompany them. Time to play the game of telephone. Undo 100 years of misinformation. Yay! Ah! Oh, yeah. You know what? This is probably... I know, this isn't even an entire hour of, No, I didn't hit the record button. Oh, I'm such a fucking dummy. Well, I just downloaded the thing from, Twitch. It actually records quite well on Twitch. Not lossless, obviously, but good enough for, Twitter. Alright, guys, Twitter. Good enough for YouTube. Alright, I know I didn't even, like, get very far, into, today, But like, I'm not gonna be able to get through this, and it's just like little tedious work, you know how it goes. But I will call it. I know, super duper short today. I'm gonna call it here. I got some things to do anyway, to finish off my night. But I will see you guys, not tomorrow. I'll see you guys Wednesday. Have a good night for the couple of you watching.